Now I know I'm probably going to catch a lot of heat for the title on this video, so let me say right up front, this is not an attack on Scotty Cameron. I could have named this video what's wrong with or what's the problem with Odyssey putters or Ping putters or any brand. Scotty Cameron is a high quality product. It's as good as it gets for what it is. The problem is the same with all putters except for two brands, and that is they work and fight against you making a good stroke. And in this video, I'm going to prove that and then do what several of our subscribers have asked for recently, talk again about the equipment I use and why I use that. Let's go. So the most important thing in putting is that at that micro millisecond of impact, when the putter face is in contact with the ball, is that the face be square to that target line. You could putt with a shovel, you can putt with a rake, with a baseball bat. I've got some video out there of me putting with a sprinkler head. It doesn't matter. The thing is, the problem with Scotty Cameron putters and with every other brand of putter is they want to resist and go offline in the middle of your stroke. So you have to do something with your hands or your wrist to keep that from happening. Let me illustrate that and prove that for you right here. I have a Scotty Cameron Futura, which is face balance putter. You hold it unobstructed, it stays straight up. So now let's set that down, and I have a device here that will not put my hands on the putter. And if you can zoom in just a little bit or focus on the putter, watch what happens when I start to make a stroke. The putter head immediately starts twisting and rotating offline. Not a huge deal, except for what that means is in the stroke, I've got to apply some pressure with my grip or my hands or my wrist to keep that square. In other words, I'm fighting against the putter head. And that's a problem, a challenge with any putter. And you go, but yeah, the pros putt great with Scotty Camerons, and a lot of people putt really well with that. They absolutely do, and you can overcome this. Not an issue. If you have, like the pros, 2 hours a day every day to practice, or you have extremely good hand or eye coordination. But I'm going to tell you that this twisting offline that you get varies from the length of stroke and the amount of pace that you're putting on the stroke. So you've got to practice enough and have enough fine motor skills to control that on every stroke. And that's why you feel like you make a good stroke and you still push and pull the putt left to right. Now there are two brands of putters, one made by Lab Golf and the other one made by Honu, that don't do that. And I'm going to illustrate that for you now. Again. So here I have my standard stock off-the-shelf Honu putter, and it's not face balance, it's mass balance, zero torque. And I put it in the device and watch what happens. I lift it up, it doesn't twist offline. I make the stroke, and the putter head stays exactly square to the target line, unless I drag it on the ground like I did there. But point is, with any other brand of putter besides a Honu or a Lab Golf putter, I have to do something with my hands, with my wrist, with my grip to keep the putter face square to the target at impact. All right? With this, or with the Lab Golf putter, I have to make a mistake to twist the putter face off impact. So it's one, I've got to exert some force to make it work, or two, I've got to make a mistake. I'd much rather play where I have to make a mistake than where I have to do everything right. So that makes a huge difference there, and hear me very carefully. I'm not saying you need to run out and buy a new putter because they're expensive. Scotty Cameron's going to cost you $350 to $400 if you buy a new one. Similar with a Lab Golf putter, similar with a Honu after it's all said and done and you pay for shipping. So again, if you're in the market for a new putter, that's a prospect for you. That's why I use that equipment that I use. Now let's talk about a second thing in the grip that I use on my Honu putter. So I use the Kotahi grip made by BJM in New Zealand. You can tell it's kind of a teardrop shaped grip. And here's why I use that. When you're putting, most people putt palms facing like this. That's no matter whether you use a claw or a pencil or left hand low or whatever, most people are palms facing. The thing is, we often get too much wrist in it, and with palms facing, you have a lot of range of motion in your wrist, and this is why we push and pull a lot of putts with our wrists. I tend to grip more palms up like this, and notice I can still get my wrist offline, but the range of motion is less. The BJM grip, Kotahi grip, is made for that. You grip it here. There's another brand called the Two Thumbs grip or something thumbs grip. Notice, palms up and the grip, my thumbs are down the line on it like that. If you can get the camera zoomed into that and see that. This grip makes it's a lot less range of motion in your wrist, so that helps me keep the putter face square. Now on mine personally, normally this grip would be rotated where it's pointing straight at you now. I have mine mounted turned about 40 degrees to the right like that. And the reason I do that is when I set up to grip the putter, palms up, this point or top angle of the teardrop fits right into the web of my hands, and that's most comfortable for me. Putting that way, I've got the least wrist, I've got a putter that does not spin or twist offline, and that device earlier that I was showing you, well, let me do that. This device earlier that I was showing you, you can put any putter you want in here, and everything except for a lab golf or a Honu putter will twist all over the place when you make the stroke. Not the end of the world, but if you're in the market for a new putter, it's probably time to consider a lab or a Honu putter. By the way, in the video comments, there's information on where you can pick up a Kotahi grip if that appeals to you, where you can pick up a Honu putter. I do make a few dollars if you buy one of those, no apologies for that. And a lot of people worry that the Kotahi putter will wear out because it's, you know, the wood, the bamboo. Well, here's the one I use 3 times a week for 3 years. And you can tell the grips got a couple of wear spaces, but the putter itself and the face is perfectly unmarred and unaltered, so you don't have to worry about that. Hope this information was helpful and interesting to you, and in the meantime, like, subscribe, comment, share, and here's to you making more putts.